This is welcome to MS Live. I'm your host, Dulci Hill, and I promised you guys that just 1 minute here. Let me just share this. Okay. Let me see. Okay, so we're gonna be talking about Christmas and MS and energy, and let's hope that someone gets a Christmas present out of hi Bev, gets a free Christmas present of comfort this year. But I promised you guys that I would do the MS Live in front of the Christmas tree, and you see we've got a fire going in the back, and it's cold outside. And anyway, so this here is big stuff for me. You know how we get caught in our ways, or let's see. Oh, that's right. I've got stuff to show you, stuff to tell you. So we get, all right, to finish my thought, we get stuck in our habits because they're easy. They're easy to make sense out of life, right? We get up and we do the same things over and over. You have MS for a long time when you just don't want to travel anymore, right? You prefer not going any place. You just have them stop by my house, and but don't make me go out. Hi Dennis, Merry Christmas. This is our Christmas edition, and so I've got it's like my mobile setup here. Yeah, thank you. Hi Daniel, and Merry Christmas to you. So if you like what is going on here, and we're talking about having MS, or we happen to have MS, a lot of us do, and a lot of us have other things. Some people are watching that don't have MS that have to overcome certain things. Hi, Dee Dee. Certain miserable things in life to be happy. So I'm going to talk a little bit about what. All right, pull out your MRIs. Let's see who's sickest. Anyway, I'll talk about that. 39 hours till Christmas, Jane says. Hi, Jane. Merry Christmas to you. Just and I know I'm not going to touch that phone because it's on a tripod. And if I touch the phone to read what you guys have been saying on YouTube, it's going to fall over. But anyway, we've got both of my fur babies here, and they want to say hi. Okay. All right. And let's see. I've got we're going to hear the chime of my wall clock, and you guys know the song, right? You know this song. So we get to sing. We're gonna sing because every time we're out near the wall clock and we hear that song, we have to pause and sing. So every 15 minutes you're gonna hear the song, right? A quarter of the song, and then but I'll lead you in the words. All right. The first at 11:15. All right, remember, it's all through the hour. All through the hour. So we're gonna sing that. Hi, Chris. Welcome. It's good to see you. Merry Christmas. So this is our Christmas episode, and we're talking MRIs. All right, what do they mean? This here is my MRI that I had last week. Hi, Daria. Good morning. Merry Christmas. It's a Christmas episode. Okay, so we're talking MRIs and what they mean. Okay, so first of all, I want to show you this here. You can see it better on their computer. But this here is an MRI. All right, this here, let's see if I can bring it up. This is my MRI. This is my brain. All right, so I'm laying here and I'm looking up. Okay, I'm looking up. You see the white? See that right there? See right there? See there's one here, one here. That white will tell you that I'm sick. Actually, that white, remember that catastrophic attack I had because I went off Gilenya and they didn't put me on medication for 6 months? It is, and I had that catastrophic attack. And I had, a lesion by cerebellum. Hi there, Jane. One in the ponds area. In fact, I don't know if you can see this. All right, cerebellum, because it's not enough contrast, right? But he said, this here is why I'm dizzy. He says, you got brain damage. All right. Now I'm going to show you enough about me. Here's a larger. Forget it. All right. So, but the good thing is that I've been taking alpha lipoic acid, so my brain's not shrinking. Because in MS, the longer you have it, your brain shrinks. And there was a study that everybody with MS should be taking alpha lipoic acid to keep. All right, so I'm going to show you. This is C-spine, and I'm going to show you. Do you see there is, look at all the lesions on my C-spine. That's my neck. And that was because they didn't put me on the right medication. They didn't put me on any medication. But you see this here, right there? See that right there? You see this here, the white is the myelin, right? And the holes right there are because of the disease activity, right? It's because the CD19, the cell cluster 19 has it's a monoclonal cell, monoclonal. CD19 has told the white blood cell that the white stuff here on the nerve, the rubber on the nerve, all right, the insulation is a germ and needs to be killed. So that's why we don't want infections. We don't want to get sick at all. Why? In fact, they discovered that various people with MS, we don't get sick. We're not sickly. Hi, Judy. Merry Christmas. We're not sickly people, right? Because what happens? We get over illnesses, and then our immune system looks to attack various parts. It's like, all right, now we're up. Now we've been gym. Now, all right, we killed the virus or we killed the infection, which is why UTIs causes havoc. Right? We've killed this, And now this is what your body said. All right, now let's find something else to beat up. So anyways, that's what these holes are. And the white is the holes you're looking at. So this here's a side view, right? This is my front of my face. I'm looking up and is that right? Yeah, I don't know. So anyway, that is the name to my pain. He also said that, and I'll show you the thoracic spine. And I don't want to hear any of you telling me my posture sucks, because in fact the neurologist said, you need to stand up straight. And I said to him, I got bigger problems than that. What do we do when we don't feel well? What do? We slouch, right? Our shoulders bend, and this is proof. But what does this also tell us? In fact, I was hoping to, let's see. Ah, I see. All right. I don't know if you can see. There's little, yeah, you know what? You can't see. But it's my thoracic spine, my C-spine, and my brain image explains completely that a person, in fact, a person with that X-ray should be in a wheelchair. With not that MRI should be in a wheelchair. So now I've had MS for 35, 36 years. I don't know. But what they've, just so you know, you can have more lesions than brain like I have. And that's joking. And Richard gave me that line because he thinks he's got more lesions than spine. And I've got that C spine is ridiculous. So just because it's riddled with these lesions, and your nerves say, you know what, there's so many blocks on the highway that now to get your leg moving, your brain tells your leg to move, right? But there's so many blocks that it may take about 3 minutes later, right? Not really, but it takes a longer amount of time, and you can't repeat it. But guess what? I will tell you. He says, this is not consistent with somebody who walks. I walked in with a walker. I went down to get a new AFO. They have come so far with AFOs that they shift your weight over to your. And I'm not letting them call it my bad side, because it's not. It doesn't respond, but it shifts your weight over to your weaker side, your good leg, or it just. And it allows you to do walking lunges with a weaker leg, so that you can create muscle memory to make that happen. To muscle memory, and muscle memory is important, because what happens is that you'll know for those of you who are challenged a little bit. Here, wait, let me put this up just a bit. Who are mobility challenged, right? The longer you stay seated, right, the less you're able to walk, right? That's why we have to get up every 15 to 20 minutes. We set an alarm, set an not an egg timer, because that would be 3 minutes, right? But anyway, you'll know this, because also if you try to stand up and that the weaker leg can give in, right? Why do we lock out our leg? All right. Why do we lock out the weaker leg? We tend to lock that out because we have our brain naturally has discovered you cannot rely on, you can't trust it. If that knee is not going to stay bent and it's going to collapse on us, right? Then we're not going to trust it. It's like, you're a bad knee. So you walk with it straight because it won't cave in. But that's where spasticity comes in, right? So a lot of us have our strength instead of muscle tone in spasticity. So with this new AFO, even though it forces that knee flexion to bend, you can override it, which was so important to me. I need to be able to override it by leaning forward and having that knee straight to use it as a cane, basically, for the right. So that is, and it can be done. But so you got the AFO, you're doing the exercises. There's also the yoga trapeze thing I'm going to show you. I'm going to bring it to Bel Air Athletic Club, and I'm going to hang it from the TRX machine, and I'll do a video with the stick. It'll be funny. And people, you know what? They all look at me. Anyway, let me just see here. Okay, let me read a little bit. All right. Yes, Jane's going to be singing. You know what? The problem when you live with a wall clock. Hi, John. Merry Christmas. Problem with living with a wall clock is every 15 minutes it goes off in song and you forget to sing. So we just miss it all through this hour. So the next verse is we got to add to it. All through this hour, Lord, be my guide. All right. And hi, Karen. Oh, yes. You weren't with us last on Tuesday. So I just love that you're here. Hi, Sarah. So we're talking a little bit about MRIs and about, it doesn't matter. You can look at an MRI and look at the holes in your MRI and because I think the best MRI that I can show you is the cervical spine. Okay, you can look at the MRI, right, and see the holes, right? See the holes in the MRI that proves that you're sick. But I'll tell you what, if you've had this a long time, it's good to share it with your friend. It's good to share it with me and with MS Live and with each other, and probably not your mom or your who want to love you as a daughter or sister or mom it's just too much information. A lot of times that in the water aerobics, it's not water aerobics, but I do physical therapy, lunges, say in the pool using the step, and if you can do lunges that way, that's great. And it's great. Yeah. Chung, the neurologist, see the holes there? It's worse. It's worse than that. This here is just C-spot. He said this is not consistent with somebody who walks, right? Who walks, right? Why do I walk? I'm playing with it because I have not been doing the doorknob squats and stuff, but it's the repetitive motion of doing these walk and lunges of creating muscle memory so that your muscle is strong enough to hold you up. That combined with your spasticity the spasticity creates strength, but it creates strength, nerve strength, right? It overrides everything. It's using a problem to the body's advantage. The body is amazing how we walk with that locked leg because we are, first of all, we are protecting. We've learned that it collapses on us, so we're not going to let that happen. The brain says, no, we're not going to allow it to collapse on us. And the second thing is when you take a step on a weaker side, a lot of times when you bend your knee, it snaps back after a while, it snaps back. So the brain wants to say, that will compromise the ligaments. So we're not going to compromise the ligaments on the knee, and we're going to keep it straight, right? Because when you snap it back, you're stretching you're hyperextending the knee, and that's bad. So it will not allow, the brain won't allow. Hi, Paul. It won't allow. Merry Christmas. It won't allow it to happen, right? So what do we do? What do we do? We have got to dedicate ourselves to having, when you're walking with your walker, if you do, where he said, my brain, let me see my overview. Okay, my brain, all right, shows that I can't walk without a walker because I am so dizzy. This here brain, this is just you can see the white, but the brain is not consistent with standing up. And I look at it clinically as almost like a scientist. I have no emotional connection to these images. These could be you, but they happen to be me. They could be anybody. They could be a stranger. But what do X-rays tell us? What do MRIs tell us? And the C-spine tells the neurologist that I have a rough time walking, and the brain tells them that I am dizzy. But it doesn't mean that you can't walk, right? It doesn't mean that. What it means is that somebody with an MRI like that needs to work harder. All right, we got 6 minutes. 6 minutes to sing the second half of the song. So anyway, I'm praying to God that everyone watching has the strength and the desire to do physical therapy, do things to strengthen their weak areas, right? To strengthen the weak areas. All right. So let me see. All right. So Chung is brain, yeah. But Chung, you have primary progressive, right? You have primary progressive MS. But I'll let you know, I advanced secondary progressive MS, advanced is I don't know, especially if I've had such an active, aggressive disease, just such a so. And after 35 years, you know what? This is me being on medication since 1993, and I still look like that. So, and that's me fighting MS with both barrels loaded. So, if I didn't, so that medication that I have been on all along, if except for 6 months where I had just cervical spine, just it was so much inflammation in my body. The MRI said that I know my neurologist was nervous. She just nervous. I had so many steroids going in me, but it's caused permanent damage that I knew, I told you back then, I said, this here, it's not so much that the attack is causing me to be tied upright because I just didn't know which way was upright, right? I just didn't. And what was it? What was it? It was the fact that in 10 years that the exposed cervical spine lesions could come back, not come back, but the symptoms could come back permanently. And it's a disability you got to get over. All right, real quick, does it hurt? Does your spine or your neck hurt with lesions like that all over the place? Mine doesn't. But it's critical we get into the gym and we do back exercises. I have a weak, painful back, and I discovered everybody has a weak and painful back. Everybody does, right? Humans are not meant to. First of all, we're not meant to live as long as we're living. Right? Don't we all outlive the usefulness of our body? Yeah, I have so many friends that are 80 plus, and when they say stuff to me, I'm like, look, I may bring this around. You know what? But then again, bringing this around is and showing it to people is like when they say, how you doing, right? And you show them this, let me tell you, it's like telling them how a watch is made when they're just asking for the time. And in fact, not even to elaborate on the time. So when they say, how you doing, see, I am doing incredible. I mean, incredible. So, so I find that my spine only hurts when I don't exercise the muscles. Here's the trick, John. Here's the trick. You go in, you've never exercised your back, right? So you start doing, hey, release. No. All right, Winston wants to say, well, he's going to make some. All right, we got 2 minutes. The other thing is that every single person with a bad back, with a painful back, has tight hamstrings. So stretch the back of your legs, and that helps. Merry Christmas, Robert. We're getting ready to sing the next verse. All right. It is all through this hour, Lord, be my guide. All right. So get ready. I want to hear everybody singing in 1 minute. right? Because this here, it's Westminster Chimes. Did you know? Because you're across the pond, right, Robert? So did you know that Westminster Chimes had words? And we're gonna sing the words here in, let's see, in 1 minute. I hope, unless he all right, in 1 minute. Okay, because I'm tuning in. All right, yeah, let's see. Get ready. Yes. All right, here we go. It should be. All right, it's making a lot. Hi, Kim. Let's see. All through this hour, Lord, be my guide. All right, you threw me, Cam. You absolutely threw me because I was supposed to sing that. Did I hear everybody else sing? Did I hear? All through this hour, Lord, be my guide. Next verse. And by thy power. So in 15 minutes, we have to sing that. Okay, so we're talking about dealing. Now let's move on. Let's talk about Christmas. Let's talk about handling just this Christmas when you just don't feel the Christmas spirit. Now, there's so much going on in the world, and there's so much rabble rousers, right? There's so many people everywhere I go. People are asking me to join groups, to, public awareness, political stuff. And you know what? Doesn't that get in the way of trying to foster just a good feeling in your heart? We have to be so militant to keep protection on our mouth, in our attitude. So I'm thinking that every time somebody asks you to join their group to judge or to condemn another group, what do we have to do? We have to say, you know what? I'm called to love on everybody, and I respect that. I respect that, and I just, you know what? I have to work on me. I got more wrong with me. Than judging anybody. So, all right. So, Jane sharing, Jane is sharing what she's doing, what everybody's doing at Christmas. Cam is my beloved nephew. I'm so proud of Cam because, just like us with MS, he's gone through, everybody goes through situations. And just like, the fact that the neurologist said that my MRIs are not consistent. Hi, Michael, with somebody who walks, or it's. I overcome that myself. I do that by exercising. He looks at everything and he says, "I don't quite get it, but keep doing what you're doing." Right? What am I doing? I'm walking lunges. I'm kicking your Uncle Brian. Kick it with my weaker leg. But you have to you know what, you have to give praise to the weaker leg to get it to move, right? What happens you have to when somebody says get your bad leg to move. That's funny. That is funny. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That got me. Chung said he asked his doctor, does his MRI look better than Brad Pitt? And I'm not quite understanding. And Michael, there's a lot of people, it's wonderful that you're walking 6,000 steps daily. That is wonderful. But I'll tell you, for those, I used to walk a mile and a half around my neighborhood. A mile. It was a mile around. But I was told by the physical therapist that the way I'm walking with my knee snapping back and it's so hard on my hip and my knee that doing the lunges in the pool, on the steps in the pool and in the gym and the squats, doorknob squats, and doing all of that is creating the muscle memory that I need when the nerves don't want to work. Just like all of us, when we have a weakness, right? Instead of saying that weakness is bad, that weakness we all each have in ourselves is an opportunity to love on those people who have the same weakness. But once we overcome it, by sharing how we overcome that here reinforces the right thing to do, right? Doesn't. All right. Okay. So anyway, and you have to tell it it's good. So every time somebody, a physical therapist, somebody working with me says, "Or what? Can you get your bad leg to lift?" By the way, remember I was showing you how to do toe lifts and doing that. So this is the first time that the neurologist asked me to lift by toes, to lift by foot. You know how they get the lift your foot, push it down. I was able to do that with my good weaker leg. Yeah, it is, and you know what? I've got the cervical spine to show that it was. I got the cervical spine X-ray to show that it shouldn't have. Here we go. That the nerves should not have responded. The muscles should not have responded. All right, so Robert, give me a run for my money, because you said you'll give me a run for my money, and it's good, and I don't have a lot of money, so that's not nice. You know what? That's not nice. That's not nice. Anyway, the minute we exploit our weaknesses to love on other people, right? To love on other people, then we've become God's blessing. That is the greatest Christmas gift that you can give other people. Somebody emailed me today who watches the videos, and she emailed me, and I will tell you, Diana, she's going through what you are going through. It is antibiotic resistant UTIs. She's got a load of problems right now. So she asked how much cranberry concentrate. Remember, I was telling everybody to take 42,000 milligrams of cranberry from Puritan Pride. And I love what you were doing is, Diana, you were trying oregano oil. There is an oregano oil that is supposed to be good. There's clove oil, wormwood, and black walnut oil, silver water. You can put silver water. There's just so many natural things that eat. And by the way, there's another thing I've been looking at. It said that 80% of people have parasites, right? And that parasites a lot of times manifest itself in autoimmune diseases. Now, the caveat is that everyone with animals has parasites, right? So I all of this natural stuff that even food grade diatomaceous earth, if you eat that, it's supposed to help get rid of these parasites. Or you know what? And I even read a website that said, it was a doctor that said everybody should be wormed once a year. Once a year. This is humans. Humans need to be wormed. They're wormed in Africa. They're, you know. So I don't know. I'll let you know, because that's huge. All right. Let's see. Michael is saying. That's sweet. Did I think of design pants with suitcase handles on them? You know what? And as much as Jane's been thinking about designing pants with suitcase handles on them, so because I lift that left leg up, the weaker leg, the good leg, the weaker leg, and I lift that up to put on socks. But it's getting heavier, right? Is it getting heavier because actually I've been losing weight, or is it getting heavier because I'm getting weaker? So I've got to do some more upper body workouts. I've got to do that. That is huge. See, all right, let me see. Pumpkin seed is an anti-parasitic. So you know what else is? Eating 2 tablespoons in the morning of not shredded, a pulverized coconut. If you eat that, that is an anti-parasitical. That is. So you know what? That's right. By the way, I don't think you can. All right. On my MRI, the doctor said, he says, "How's your sinuses?" I said, "They're sinuses." And he says, "You have sinusitis." The MRI showed that my right sinus was so inflamed. And hi, Sharia. Sharia's here. Merry Christmas, sweet girl. It is wonderful. But the neurologist said, "You have got sinusitis. You need to call your doctor." How does that? So Robert, the doctor had said, "How does that feel? How does that? Do you feel?" No. Now my husband gets sinusitis a lot. So he says, you don't have any of the symptoms. I sneezed. Diana, you would enjoy this, because I've had the snorkel, and I was just doing a couple laps of breaststroke to warm up my shoulder before I swam my 66 laps. And I sneezed in the snorkel. That is, Mom, Muti, my mother's here. That is great. Well, anyway, so I had the sinusitis. So the neurologist said, call your general practitioner and tell him he's calling me in a Z-Pack. And my husband said, so I'm sniffing because my husband says, I want you to inhale silver water. I don't know. Gina is in the house. Merry Christmas week, girl. With the Gina says hi. Gina is my sister. And so anyway, we're just showing Gina, my cervical spine MRI. This is the name. You see the holes right there, the holes, the side holes, right? The side. That's the myelin. The white is the myelin, and sorry, Mom. I know. Yeah. I'm sorry for sharing that, but you know what? Gina, you may. Your MR probably looks. I get so much out of you. By the way, we were talking about wormwood and black walnut oil and silver water. So when the neurologist says you've got this sinusitis, and he says, how does that feel? You have any symptoms? I said, well, I sneezed in my snorkel a couple times, and but you know what, Robert? It's just as you said. You got a lot of, it's like I got more problems when he said you need to sit up, you need to stand up straighter, right? Because you got a curve in your spine, and it's because I'm slouching. Right? And I looked at him, I said, oh my God, you sound like my parents when I was growing up. But let me tell you something, I got bigger problems than standing up straight. You right? Keep me walking. And Jane says, you said be careful with metal-based products. Why is that? And specifically, what are you talking about? All right, metal-based products, and is silver water included in that? Because it's an antiparasitic. So be careful. Metal base. Are you talking bullets? Be careful. Silver bullet. I know. I looked at my husband the other day and I said, well, you put horses down, right? No. You know what? It is, I've got to do lunges. I've got to do. So I've got to go to the gym today and lift some weights, right? And be a good girl, right? It's only half an hour, 45 minutes. So I don't go backwards, right? Because what is it? Most people lose their ability to walk and do things because they get complacent. When people look at me, I talked to a gal yesterday at the gym. She said her brother died at 24. He had 48. I'm sorry, 48. He had multiple sclerosis. And she said, I can't believe you're walking. You're so much better than him. And you just don't know what to say. She says, keep it up. You inspire me. And they don't know how hard we work. They don't know. It's like every day we get out of bed is like climbing Mount Everest. You lay in bed, you wake up, and you have to work like crazy against saying, good God, it's morning. Good God, it's morning. Instead, yeah, you got to say, good God, it's morning. Hi, Aphrodite, my friend from Greece. Aphrodite's in the house. You bless me. You bless me. I just love that you're here. Merry Christmas. And that's true. MS is a snowflake disease. But I'll tell you what, use it or lose it is an everybody disease, right? So, and the only way we can overcome a weakness is by facing it head on, and so it's like a lot of people say they'll see me do these exercises that are based, and they say to me, uh, they say, keep it up. The physical therapy. Hi, Tracy. The physical therapy, Merry Christmas. Physical therapy will kick in, but you have to keep doing this. And they are looking at me like a stroke victim, like somebody overcoming an acute, like sciatica or a rotator cuff problem. It's that kind of thing. Uh, uh, but I'll tell you what, it's not. You guys know. In fact, I had to say a way that I explained MS or my nerves, because the gal who's working with me in the water, she's like, keep it up. How come your leg only has like 2 or 3 good exercise and then it stops? And I said, wait, I'm getting warm. You know what happens when we people with MS, they'll get warm. Okay, so what happens? I said it's very much like having a drill, a corded drill, right? A corded drill hooked up to a wall with lots of holes in the drill. All right, hang on. Why do I keep doing this? All right, so there's lots of holes in the drill cord. So that's a drill. No, that's a wall. That's where it's plugged in to the electric, and down there is I may Photoshop that straighter, so people are less judgmental. So you got this drill with this, all right, with this cord, and what it's doing is that as that heats up, what happens? As it heats up, it becomes ineffective. Now the holes, the holes on the rubber on the wire have expanded because we've gotten warm. This here is not effective anymore, right? So what happens? What do you do to the drill? You unplug it. You stop using. You put it down, right? You unplug it from the source, and you let it cool down, and then you do it again, right? You do it again, because that nerve, if it fails us, we've got to overcome by doing the 3 lunges. So take your walker, go outside, and slow down, and throughout the day, just incorporate doing a couple walking lunges where your front knee is bent behind. This is your weaker leg, behind your toe, right? Behind your toe. All right. Did you guys hear the song? But that's wonderful, Sharia. All right, that cracks me up. She's gonna try to. Let me see. I've got to. Let's see. Not all right. Okay, so they can't call me anyway. I got so sidetracked on what was I talking about. See, I told you I got MS. So anyway, we have got to incorporate the proper form of doing a lunge when you're pushing and you're doing the forward motion. Remember to keep your weaker knee behind your toe, and lean on the walker, you're leaning on the handles and you're giving that muscle, that hamstring, you're giving that as much weight as possible. And slowly you can do that more and more often. It's when we slow down. And Diana will tell you, when you swim, right? It part of my problem when I swim is that I tend to go too fast, right? Because swimming is all about taking a stroke and coming down, right? So what do? I like to keep going, right? Instead of taking a stroke, reaching out and then pushing, and the momentum of that push glides you. So make the most of every stroke. And in the same exact way, when you're doing these lunges, when you're slowing down to walk and use these muscles that those nerves don't want to use, uh, uh, they don't want to use. And it'll help. It helps, because remember, in MS and in all things in life, and all weaknesses, raindrops make oceans, right? Raindrops make oceans. It was Chuck O'Reilly. No, Chuck McDowell from Liberty Mutual. He was my another sales agent when I was up in Bellevue, and that was his saying, raindrops make oceans, but he used it with sales. And I thought it was so charming. And that has been my mantra. Raindrops make oceans, because aren't we all a bunch of raindrops? I got this email from this gal this morning who's got this bladder resistant UTI, and she says, I want your address so I can send you thank you because I just found your channel. And let me tell you something. I don't need thanks. Where I get the thanks? I get the thanks from your comfort. I love that. It's nice to get a card. I got a card from Jan and from let me see, and then of course from Jane, and I love that. But I'll tell you what, it's an unexpected blessing, because our blessings, my blessings, are the same as yours, and that is to give and receive the love God has. God had for us. The greatest gift was when God gave us Jesus, when God came down on earth. That was the greatest gift. And how are we supposed to spend Christmas? Christmas is about giving. I'll tell you what, it's not about receiving gifts. It's more fun to give gifts, because then you're putting yourself in a position without knowing. It's important you give a gift without knowing, because then you are fostering that God spirit in you. You're fostering that. And what do we do at Christmas? We give gifts to symbolize the love we have for this other person. It's to symbolize the love God had for us by giving us Christ. So that is the story of why we give gifts at Christmas. But I find that it is most fun to give anonymously. So when somebody contacts me, all right, at the top of the hour, we're going to sing the whole song. All through this hour, Lord, be my guide in thy power, and by thy power no foot shall slide. That's right. All right. So, okay. All right. So, you're all talking about fashions. And also, another thing that I know it's top of the hour, but the other thing is that when you take a heavy noodle and you force, remember that hip flexor doesn't want to work for some of us, and you force that knee down and it wants to come up, you are doing the negatives. It's really a good thing. So, you know what? Love on each other. You have helped me more than I could ever help you. So, know that. All right, get ready. All right, it should be going off. All right, here we go. Merry Christmas. All right, here we go. All through this hour, Lord be my God, and by thy power no foot shall slide. 12 gongs for each day of Christmas. Okay, you see the puppies. So I will tell you, I wish you all a Merry Christmas. May the joy of this season be in your heart. May the love we have for you, if nothing else, if you can think about those who love you enough to give you suggestions, like everybody who has been with us this morning, with all the Christmas decorations, at the expense of, if I care, if it was about me, if this show is about me, I would have done it in the office because I can control the lighting and I can make myself look better. But it's not, it's about you. And there's a real poinsettia in my Christmas tree. And I just ask, let me pray us out, dear Heavenly Father. I ask that everybody here receives the gift of comfort and knows you, Lord, the gift of salvation, the beautiful salvation that you offered by giving us the very first Christmas. Thank you so much, and may we open our hearts and look at the possibilities. I pray for everyone who doesn't know you to just to experience the wonder and of the possibilities of how much more we can be when we have the love that you have for us, for each other. In Jesus' name I give thanks. Amen. Anyway, I love you all. Thank you for tuning in, and I will see you on Tuesday after all the shenanigans. I have a video on YouTube that is surviving holidays. So you may want to, you may not. I know a lot of you are quick to laugh. I love you all, and bye.